intelligence. The authenticity of one's experience and, or rather what they can be able to do in life sometimes comes out of practice and what you do often, over and over. If that class 3 person has been able to maintain coffee, Honorable Wamushomba, if that class 3 person has been able to maintain his own farm and coffee for 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm talking about my grandfather, successfully, that is it. The Honorable Wamushomba and maybe the chair for this, with this reasoning. Honorable Speaker, we need to be very careful not to go against the spirit of the Constitution on discrimination and everything. This very House, a degree requirement was passed, but it has always been deferred on implementation through so many other channels, court, and every other aspects, because people say a degree is not a measure of intelligence. I mean, that's why we have people here who didn't even go to beyond, who didn't even go beyond class 8, and they are doing very well. They are, because the authenticity of speaking good English, Honorable Chair, is not a measure of intelligence. The authenticity of one's experience and, or rather what they can be able to do in life sometimes comes out of practice and what you do often, over and over. If that class 3 person has been able to maintain coffee, Honorable Wamushomba, if that class 3 person has been able to maintain his own farm and coffee for 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm talking about my grandfather, successfully, that is experience enough. He doesn't need a paper of Form 4 that was teaching about anthropology and types of abundance and banner, parts of abundance and banner. I mean, really, let's be practical. And this is a board.
Let's listen. I've heard you.
Let me finish, Chair. And this is a board. Yeah. A board will be a hybrid. There is a degree person. There is also a person who didn't go to school, and that is okay.
The Honorable Gladys Soleil. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think I've just been following the discussions by my colleagues in relation to the qualifications of the people serving on these cooperative boards. But I think it has nothing to do with education at all. It has something to do with honesty.
Integrity.
Some integrity. Someone is corrupt because they have a personality defect. It has nothing to do with their education. And if you look at the most successful cooperatives from the time of my grandfather, Keyo Cooperative House, they were not educated. It was well managed. They bought buildings. They invested. Today, their own grandchildren, great-grandchildren cannot do the same thing.
Yes,
and it was not because they were educated. So, and I think also, remember we already have structures. Because of devolution, we are in a better place. In every, I think most counties have been encouraged to have a cooperative officer in every ward. And I know that Elgeyo Marakwet County has done that. That's one of the counties you can say has done that. So if they have those cooperative officers, and then they also have the CEC cooperatives at the county, and then they also have the commissioner cooperatives for the county who reports to the ministry of cooperatives here in Nairobi, those are the ones who are supposed to be supervising and interrogating the books. And that's why I said the corruption is with the cooperative officers. The corruption is with the commissioners of cooperatives who are domiciled under the ministry. They are the ones who allow the books to be crooked. They are the ones who allow the wrong officials to hold office and so on. So it's not about the qualification. It's the guidelines what we shall give. And I know that immediately after this act passes and becomes an act of parliament, we'll be able to develop regulations and guidelines of how this can be monitored to ensure that these problems don't have. That they have a very good database of shareholders. And now, with the technology that we have, they can actually register them biometrically, like IEBC does. They can borrow IEBC equipment, they register them, and then they are able to have a confirmed list of shareholders. When it is voting, they can vote through the same system, and therefore it's nothing to do with education.
There are two bills, honorable members. There are two bills that are going concurrently. We just disposed of, I think, we have not taken the cooperative bill yet.